Thank you for joining me for this painting time lapse. In this video, I'm working on a small oval figurative oil painting depicting realistic water. As you can see, I've already created the underpainting, which is sort of like the pre-sketch and the foundation I build upon. It establishes some very basic shapes and values. I made a video a while back dedicated entirely to this topic, and I will link it in the description. I always save the meticulous detailing part of the paintings for last, so right now I'm just placing down the very first color layer to get all of the underpainting covered and then gradually build from there. This painting took about a week and a half, which I know it's such a small painting, why would it take that long? But I work in layers, so when I was done with the first color layer, I left it to dry for a couple days and then came back to it and then worked on it some more, and I did this on and off throughout that time. So I never just finished my paintings in one sitting. I prefer to take my time and be able to take breaks, so normally I have several paintings I'm working on at a time. While I wait for one layer to dry, I switch to a different painting, and it gives me time to refresh from the last one so that I'm not staring at a painting for too long. I tend to get bored if I'm only working on one painting at a time, and that's what you don't see in this video is all of the breaks I took. I'm currently editing the real-time demonstration of this painting, which will be uploaded to my Patreon page as one of this month's video rewards. One of my favorite things about painting water is that it's always different. There are so many possibilities. The shapes are always different depending on what's being reflected off the water, what the weather is like, the time of day. There are so many factors that drastically affect the appearance of this substance, and every time I paint water, it's completely different, even though the paintings can look similar and be in this cohesive series. Each painting is a different process. I originally started painting figures in water 6 years ago, and it was a way for me to find peace and tranquility within myself and heal from the things I was going through at the time. And sometimes when I look back at older paintings, I can kind of remember who I was at the time, what I was thinking, what I was listening to, what I was feeling. They're almost like little emotional diaries that only I can tap into and relive. For this painting, I used the Strathmore 400 series oil painting paper. So I'm just cutting off the blank edges so that I could fit it into this beautiful ornate frame. And it is dry here, I'm not cutting a wet painting. The frame already had some gold detailing on it. However, I wanted to go over that with the liquid leaf paint I have, which is much shinier and more metallic looking than the paint that was already on the frame. And it's also a bit of a warmer gold. I actually used this paint to cover a couple frames entirely, a seashell, some agate slices. You gotta be careful with this stuff, it's so much fun. I had to cut myself off from painting my entire life with it. So here is the finished painting in its frame, ready to hang. I have a few more beautiful ornate frames I'd like to fill, so you'll probably see more smaller paintings on my channel. This one will be in my art store if anyone wants to give it a home. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm wishing you all a beautiful and inspiring day. Bye everyone!